Welcome to Vision Pros, the show all about spatial computing, Vision OS, and getting work done on the Apple Vision Pro. I'm Tim Chen, host of the show. Hello there, and welcome to a new episode of Vision Pros. Joining me today is Ged Maheux, one of the co-founders of the Iconfactory. And Apple actually reached out to the Iconfactory to offer them development kits for the Apple Vision Pro. So he has now been using it for a few weeks now, and we have a discussion about kind of his initial experiences as someone that now has an Apple Vision Pro. And I thought it was just very interesting that Apple is now doing outreach to developers and sending them free development units. So that is definitely an encouraging sign as Apple is actually doing the work they need to do to have more development done for this awesome platform. So hope you enjoy the discussion that I have with Ged all about the Apple Vision Pro. If you would like to support this podcast, you can do so a couple different ways. First on, head on over to visionpros.fm/Patreon. And from there, you can sign on to the Patreon or subscribe in Apple Podcasts. By subscribing to either place, you'll get the episodes early for both Vision Pros and my other podcast, iPad Pros. And another great way to support this podcast is simply by leaving a review in Apple Podcasts. Every review goes a long way in helping send the right signals to Apple, helping others discover the show. With that, here's my discussion with Ged. Enjoy. Welcome to podcast, Ged.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I saw on Mastodon that you're a new owner of the Apple Vision Pro. So congratulations on being part of the club now.
Yes, exclusive club, but I didn't actually buy it. So Apple sent us development units.
Oh.
Nice. Yep. So yeah, I don't have the wherewithal to purchase it myself, but I'm glad that Apple has decided to gift it to us, for a while anyway.
That's interesting that they're doing that kind of outreach.
Yes. Yeah.
That's good.
I'm curious why that happened myself, but I have some ideas.
Yeah. I mean, they of course want more apps on the platform.
Right.
So this kind of gesture is, I think, meaningful because, not every developer can justify that expense,
Yeah, for sure. And for us, we're not all in the same physical location. So in order to test Vision Pro devices correctly, the designer would need one, the programmer would need one. And so that's quite, that turns out to be quite an expense.
Yeah. Not that you've announced anything at all, but of your current apps, I'm trying to think which ones would be the most relevant there. I could think like Tapestry could be interesting, and
Yeah, Tapestry wasn't available for Vision prior to this, and our excuse was we couldn't test it.
Sure. Yeah.
We weren't going to put an app in the store that we couldn't test. But now that Apple had sent us the review units, we clicked the necessary button and got it into the store. So Tapestry is there. It's an iPad compatible app. It's not a Vision native app.
Yeah.
But it works great, and I'm kind of impressed with how easy that was actually. So
yeah, the iPad apps I found work generally very well, especially the ones where the developers took the time to integrate the trackpad with the hover states. That's where, like, if they don't have hover states, it's a little harder because the eye tracking, you're just like I think Discord does this where you're just generally looking at what part in that list do I want to click on. It's just like no visual response to where it's going. Yeah, so the trackpad support's pretty critical. Yeah,
I downloaded Slack and a few other apps for the Vision, and it's not a completely smooth sailing there, which is, it makes it a little frustrating sometimes, but
yeah. And most of the time that you're using it, is it just with eye tracking, or are you hooked up to a keyboard and trackpad?
No, I've been using the eye tracking, and now that's one thing I wanted to ask you about. I mean, do you ever use the Vision for the virtual Mac desktop?
I do, not all the time, but I do love it there when I have something I need to knock out from the Mac. Okay. I actually I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I have a headless MacBook Air I created for $300.
Oh wow!
I got a $300 little MacBook Air with a broken screen on eBay, so I just took up the screen and it's a perfect little Vision Pro input device and full Mac there. Yeah.
Nice. I tried the virtual Mac desktop, and in theory, it's pretty cool. You know, to be able to have the super wide panoramic display. I kept losing Bluetooth keyboard connection while I was doing it. Like every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it would drop the keyboard, and I would have to reconnect it.
From the Mac?
Yep, from the Mac.
Wow. That's... Oh, like there's too much bandwidth going on with the Mac itself or something weird?
I'm not sure why, but it was frustrating, and it soured me a little bit there.
Yeah, that would... me too. Well, and it's... What kind of Mac is it? Mac Studio?
In Mac Studio.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's bizarre.
M1. Yep.
Very bizarre. Yeah.
Running Sequoia. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, if it wasn't disconnecting, otherwise it would be something maybe worth using.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I have a dual monitor setup with Apple displays now, so I can't really complain about what I use for my daily work setup. I'm a little disappointed in the resolution of the Vision. It's not as crisp as I had thought it would be. I mean, it's great under normal circumstances like watching movies and the immersive stuff. You know, it seems super high res then, but when you're looking at like fine text on the screen, things like that, it definitely doesn't feel as high res as I thought it was going to be. And I if I hadn't had the problem with the keyboard, I was going to try to use it for a whole day working that way. And I just don't know if I could do it. Like after an hour or so, it just, it's so heavy. Do you find that it's heavy?
Yes. That's why I got the Belkin head strap, which made all the difference.
Yeah, I tried that.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I tried it both with the one that the default head strap that it came with, and also the Belkin head strap with the adjustable strap in the back.
Yeah. And that still was too heavy with that.
Yeah, still it pressed on my face too much. Maybe I don't have it set up correctly, but I couldn't see myself wearing it all day to do work. A couple hours maybe, but not all day.
Yeah, I've done 4 or 5 hour stretches in the evening, and it's comfortable the whole time for me doing that.
And it doesn't give you any headaches or queasiness or anything, huh?
No, not at all. But then again, I have a PSVR 1 and 2 that I've done gaming where that can cause queasiness depending on the game if I do it wrong.
Oh, really?
So,
have you used Oculus at all?
I've never had one, no. I've only had the PlayStation side of things.
Okay.
And yeah, some of the games where you're just flying around, jumping around, it can cause that. But at this point, my sea legs are pretty good, where it's pretty rare for that to happen.
I haven't gotten motion sick from it. I start to get a very mild headache after a couple hours of looking through it.
Pressure, like
yep,
the weight
from the pressure.
Yeah.
Yep, pressing on the bridge of my face underneath my eyes and right around there. I think that's where it's coming from, not the motionness of it or whatever. Because I'm really impressed with. I love that when you put a window someplace and it stays there. It's like rock solid. It is in that capacity. It is totally impressive. I mean, of course, I've used VR over the years, and it's never been like this before. This is like another level of UI VR that I think that Apple has really done a great job of. So that part of it is just undeniably awesome. I love putting giant windows in the room, and that's where they are. They stay there, and you can move around the room, and they don't move. You can walk through them. They stick right there. I love that. That part is awesome.
Walking next to a window, looking at it, it's pretty cool. Like with PlayStation VR 2, I would watch movies in there occasionally before the Vision Pro, and throughout like a hour or 2 hour session, I get to center things because it doesn't keep track of where the window should be, and like how Apple does it, it's like just perfect with that.
Yeah. It's very Minority Report. It totally is. The first time I put it on and used it, I totally felt like I was in Star Trek or something. It was otherworldly in that respect.
That's never really gotten old. Like over the past year, like having windows in your space and having being able to layer them, like stuff behind windows, like have like it's so cool. And I hope they figure out window management in different ways. But this initial thing of just being able to place them anywhere, it never gets old. It's just very cool.
I wish you could place the home screen where you wanted it. I wish you could grab the home screen and push it back into the distance or pull it towards you. You know, it's always at the same depth every time. I'm hoping that I hope they'll change that in the next revision of Vision OS. I think that would be welcome.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. And folders, of course, I desperately want. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so curious what Vision OS 3 will be, because it seems like there's a lot of stuff they could be doing here.
Before Apple sent this device to me, I really couldn't have cared less about what they're going to announce for it at WWDC. But now that I've experienced it, now I'm very curious, and I really have vested interest in it getting better. And both the hardware and the software, but particularly the hardware, I think. And I think this is one of the reasons why they sent it to us. You know, obviously they're going to do a revision of it, and there's going to be new APIs and all of these things. And they want us to get our feet wet ahead of that. And it's a great way for them to do that. And I'm really curious. There's these rumors about the new Vision being made of titanium and being a lot lighter. And I'm curious about that. And also, too, the virtual presence on the outside of it. Are they going to stick with that? Do you really need that? I would make the case that you don't. If it brought the cost down, if it brought the weight down to get rid of that, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea how useful or unuseful that is. Like, I do have conversations with family members wearing it, but I'm not I have no idea if it makes it better or worse that they can see, like, my eyes through it or not. Like, I don't know. Like, I haven't asked, like, interrogated that point. Does that make a difference at all? Because it might feel like, oh, you can see me and it's more welcoming, or it might have no effect with that.
If they allowed you to customize that would be pretty cool. You could have cartoon eyes, or, you know, digital eyes, or LED eyes, or whatever. Yeah. That would be kick ass.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they'll.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, my family members know that I can see things through it, so I don't know if they need visual confirmation that I can see through it at all times or not. Like, that's yeah. And yeah, initially I could not wear it for long periods of time because I didn't have the right head strap set up. So I don't know if there's a third-party option that would be even better for kind of your setup. That'd be the thing to look into.
Do you have lens inserts for it?
I do. Yeah.
You did. Okay.
Yeah, I do. Yep. And it's kind of wild because, you know, it's if I want to. It's the computer. I can always see clearly what I'm looking at, like, because, like, other computers, like, do I have strong enough adapters on for this time of day or whatever? And Vision Pro is just like, I can always see. It's great.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, I wish it was a little bit easier to get in and out of the space and have it remember what you were doing and that kind of thing. I find that there's still some setup I have to do occasionally, taking it on and off and things like that. I hope that improves.
Like a window being in a different room or something like that?
Yep, yeah, exactly. Stuff like that is a little annoying. There's friction there. But I'm sure that'll get better over time.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And then how often have you tried to use it and the power is totally dead?
Yeah, yeah.
That's another thing. And it can take, like... So one thing I've noticed, like... once you get the countdown, like 30 seconds left until this is dead, you even plugging in the power at that point, there's no coming back from it. And it's a good, like, 10 minutes sometimes for it to get enough juice to power back on. It's kind of...
I haven't gotten that low with it.
Yeah, so it's best not to.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. You know, in some ways I can understand why they did it this way. It's like, you can really... I mean, I'm curious that, like, the percentage of people like you that could go all day wearing it and doing work with it all day long. And then the people who just wear it, to watch a movie or have fun with it, and they're spending that 2-hour time window of power, so they don't need to stay hooked into the power all the time. And how that compares and what the use cases for it are. I'd also love to know, like, how many users of Vision Pro are there? Do we even know that? Is that even known? I
don't think so. I mean, certain developers of the most popular apps could probably give you their numbers, but that's not cohesive enough for everything. I would love, for them to offer a bigger battery. Like, let me buy a 2x capacity battery that's twice the size, because that I think would get me through most scenarios versus the one that's there now is like, it's just for most sessions I'm gonna need external power, so I'm most of the time just daisy chained into another battery is how because I use it most of the time away from an outlet where it would be inconvenient. So I have a big anchor battery or whatever that I just plug into.
Yeah. I could totally see it. I mean, there are some things where I totally get it now. I didn't get it before, when it first came out and I hadn't tried it. There was nothing about it that was just like, really? I mean, it's like super compelling. I wanted to go out and spend $3,800, on this headset. But now I haven't tried it. I can say, okay, if I was traveling a lot, if I was flying everywhere, and I would totally take this thing with me on a plane and on a trip. I could do work on a plane with it. I could, watch movies and drown out everybody else all around me for the entire trip if I wanted to. It's totally great for something like that. If you weren't in your normal workspace, if you were traveling and you want to bring all your whole setup with you, that would be incredible for a use case for it. The whole immersion thing is just totally awesome. That's the thing that it's really excels at. It shines when you go into that immersive space. That is my absolute favorite thing about it. I love like sitting on the moon and watching a movie, or sitting on the beach in Bora Bora and just reading the web, something like that. It is awesome at that. The problem is that in order to get that, you have to have the whole light seal and the whole the screens and everything. You can't just have a meta pair of glasses on your face.
That could do the floating windows, but not the
immersion. You can't. Yeah. Not the immersion. And so, I mean, how do you overcome that? That's a very hard design problem. You got to get the cost of it down. How do you get the cost of it down? I don't know, without selling millions more of them.
Imagine a pair of glasses where you hit a button and like this thing comes like and seals off like.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's ever a thing, or if they'll have the Vision Pro style goggles, and then eventually they'll add to it the glasses line that doesn't do the immersion.
Right, like a light version or an air version of it or something, right?
Yeah. But the environments. I'm absolutely curious if we'll get some new ones with this OS update in June.
I hope so. I love them.
Yeah.
They're great.
And the moon is one of my favorites for just videos in general because it's so dark. But also you just look around, there's the stars and the moon. And I was watching The Pits the other day in the Vision Pro. And it's a very graphic medical show, so at times I'm like looking away, and I was looking so high up I could see the earth,
right. It's way up there. It's way up there.
Some scenes horror movies you look away.
It's like the best planetarium you've ever sat in. I wish there was a planetarium app for it. I mean, I haven't completely explored the app store for it. Of course, I've got the default space one that shows you the solar system and things like that, but I would just love to be able to just lay back, look on the moon, and have a program run that walked you through stars and galaxies, narrated by Patrick Stewart or whatever. It would be like dream science geek thing. It'd be awesome.
The IMAX app is surprisingly good for renting those IMAX documentaries, and you sit in like an IMAX theater. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. I love the the wildlife immersion ones, the elephants and the rhinos and the shark one especially.
Yeah.
Have you tried those? Oh my god, those
Apple,
are awesome.
Yep, the Apple videos. Yep.
Oh, they're awesome. I wish they were longer. They're only like 7-8 minutes long. I don't know. They need to be a lot longer because I just grinning from ear to ear while I'm watching this. The animals are like right in your face. You feel like you're right there with them.
It's so good.
It's awesome. It's great.
Yeah. I've been impressed with the Spatial Gallery app that rolled out not too long ago. It seems like they're on a good cadence. Like every 2 weeks or so, there's like another batch of 10 or 12 different things in there. And the animals, even in Spatial, not the full, 180 thing, but even in Spatial, it's just so cool seeing like the elephants and all that stuff in that app.
Yeah. And I downloaded an app that lets you convert any of your own movies to spatial movies. And it's very cool. Being able to, it works great. It takes a while to convert them. You have to let it go in the background and things. But once it's done, it feels like it's just like an Apple thing. It actually pulls the data out and makes it into 3D. You can choose the depth for the movie. You don't have to have it like completely 3D. You can push it down and have it be like 2.5D. And watching movies like that is the own videos that you have videoed, that you have recorded like that is stunning. It's great.
I'm curious how long till Apple adds that. Like they did photos last year. I wonder when they'll add that. It's a harder problem, but it seems like it's possible. And it is wild, like pulling up. I'm not sure if you've done this. Yeah, like pulling up like for me, like wedding photos or like my daughter's like birth, kind of like during that time. It's like it really brings you back in cool ways. Yeah,
it does. And I experimented with it. I'm sure anyone who has a vision experimented with it. I have a whole photo roll of high resolution 3D rendered versions of Star Trek starships. I have the Enterprise D, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, the Defiant, all of those. I have these great high-res 3D images, 3D rendered images of these things. And I converted them into spatial photos in the Vision app. And man, holy cow, that is cool. It's like the ship is like coming right out at you. You can see into the windows inside. You can see the crew members inside there. Some of these photos, it looks like you're actually in space, like right next to the Enterprise. It's extremely cool. So it's like it totally is that Wonder Kid effect. You're looking at it and it's like, my mouth is just like, I gotta close my mouth because it's so cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's in our household. The TV I have no power over upgrading and making a nice, good OLED one. So we have a crappy $300 TV that's not very big. So the Vision Pro is definitely like I can actually enjoy movies again. It's like
that's awesome. So that brings you to another thing that bugs me about it is that only you can do that.
Yes,
unless you bought two. You can't.
It's not a easily experience.
No, it's not. And that for anyone with a family, that's got to be like a deal breaker. That really. I mean, how can you sit in your living room with your whole family and watch something like that while they're doing something else? It makes no sense to me. That part that's a serious design flaw on Apple's part, I think. I don't know how to overcome that.
Yeah, there's no way to overcome that, right? Yeah.
It's like, but it is a serious limitation of it. It's,
Yeah. Currently, it's helpful for me because like I'm going upstairs, settling my daughter as she's sleeping and stuff, and I stay up there with her, and she doesn't like us leaving the room very much. So it's good for solitary activities as far as watching stuff. And it's also when she's sleeping, I don't have a bright screen that would wake her, and she's like, oh, bright screen, let me look at that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. I love too the immersive environments in the Disney Plus app. Those are great. Avengers Tower and on watching a movie on Tatooine, like from within the land speeder. You feel like you're in a drive-in movie theater on Tatooine and you're sitting in a land speeder, and then over on the side there's a sand crawler and Jabba's palace and two suns setting in the it's
so
impressive.
Good, yeah.
It's really impressive.
Yeah. No, it's a great place to watch Andor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And
totally.
Disney still hasn't so they have an ad tier now, right? But they have not enabled support for ads in the Vision Pro app. So if you have an ad tier and you have a Vision Pro, you're all set. You don't even need to worry about that. It's kind of a nice little oversight for now.
That's cool. I wonder how long that will last.
I know. Well, it's been there since launch, so I guess they don't care too much.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you going to say?
As far as like just the apps, third-party apps, anything that you've downloaded that has been kind of interest for you?
I did enjoy that space app. The solar system one. I spent hours in that when I first downloaded it and checked it out, and that was very cool. I also tried this 3D fishing one, this game. I don't know if you tried that one.
I have not yet, no.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's odd, but it's cool. Of course, the dinosaur experience and everything. I haven't explored as much of third-party apps as I would like. I just haven't had time with it, but I know there's a lot there to check out. I'm really gravitating towards all the space, NASA, science-y stuff. So I gotta make sure I delve into that in the App Store.
Yeah. No, that's very cool.
What about you? Are there ones that you enjoy?
I mean, as far as the best like writing tool I've found is Everlog. It's a journaling app, but it's just it's Markdown, so you can use it in all sorts of ways. And that's the one app as far as just like if you want to do writing in the Vision Pro, I found that to be the best one out there.
And do you do that with physical keyboard, or how do you get
physical keyboard? Okay. Yeah. But it's a weird oversight as far as developers. Like, there's this big hole in the market of like, there's no native drafts app. There's no like just simple text stuff. There's really not a bunch out there. There's Apple Notes, of course, but yeah. And then if you have a PlayStation, the Portal app is just phenomenal. It's brings PS5 remote play into the Vision Pro.
Really?
And it does like 4K upscaling, and it supports the DualSense in ways that so like Sony's iOS app, the only way you get full DualSense capabilities is if you plug it in through a wire. But this developer figured out how to do it over Bluetooth, and it's just phenomenal. It's
wow.
It's really good app, Portal. Yeah, and then I of course have Juno still that I use for YouTube, but sadly that
you do have Juno.
It still works, yeah.
It still works. Okay,
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. You can't download it anymore, right? I'm sore about that because I came late to the party and now I can't get Juno.
Mm-hmm. It's such a good app.
That's a pity. That is really a pity.
Yeah, so hopefully YouTube comes out with an official app soon. It's weird though. Like there are other YouTube ways to get YouTube in there. All of the sandwich apps, theater and television, they have a YouTube portal in there, but YouTube doesn't care because it does more than just that. Yeah. It's
that is that's another key problem. I mean, and I from experience, it's like okay. We mentioned Tapestry before, and it's like, okay, we flipped the switch, and now Tapestry works in it and stuff. The designer in me, the developer part of me, wants to go and make that app native and make it awesome for the Vision. I totally can see where I would adjust it, how it could be better.
Yeah.
How it could be a lot more friendly and useful than the native custom iPad version of it. But
because you could have a lot of panels and stuff that
can
expand out. Yeah.
Right. But the business owner in me can't justify putting the time into doing that for that because it's just not going to make the return on the investment for it. It is a total chicken and egg problem, and I hope we figure out a way to overcome it. I hope Apple makes it easier. I hope Apple pushes it more and gets it more mainstream for people so that we can devote more time to it. It's inspiring creatively. The platform is really creatively inspiring, but if there's no money to be made there, it's very difficult to justify working on it.
And I wonder the whole cost thing, especially, I don't like to talk about politics, but the whole tariffs, I can't imagine the Vision Pro is going to be made in India. This is the highest engineering thing it'll take a while for them to move that. And then how do you get costs down, for the lower cost one and all that? Yeah.
Good luck with that, really.
Yeah,
it's
not a problem.
That's a hurdle. That is a big hurdle.
Yeah, and the adoption, I think, is entirely cost-based. Like, you need to get it at, I'd say $1,500 or less is kind of the goal as far as adoption. Like, if you can get it in around the cost of like a spec'd out MacBook Air, I think you're getting pretty close to where it.
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah.
If I had bought it outright, I can't really say that I wouldn't have returned it. It's great,
but
for
comfort,
what it does.
I think, is the main. Like, if comfort was there, would it set?
That would help a lot. That would help a lot for sure. And the whole ability of not dropping the keyboard every 5 minutes for actual virtual Mac work. That was a bummer, and maybe it's just the version of OS or my keyboard or something.
Yeah, I've not heard of that from anyone else, so I don't know what that's about. It's bizarre.
Yeah. That I was bummed at, but if it did all that and I had the extra money that I could spend on it, maybe I would keep it and find uses for it and try to justify it a little bit, but thankfully I don't have to, so I can enjoy it and use it for what it is. And the thing, like I said, the things that it does, especially the entertainment aspects of it, are just phenomenal, and they're totally worth it. It is very worth it in that respect.
Yeah,
I wish I could do more with it. It's just, it doesn't seem like I could. Yeah, productivity wise, it's like right on the bubble for me.
Yeah, and if the Mac thing worked for you, that could be a thing. Especially if you were a laptop guy, you could be like on like a recliner and just being productive. And
yeah, I do love that you can be in bed or on the couch and looking up at the ceiling and have everything you're looking at be within your line of sight and all of that. That's great. You can work anywhere, really.
Yeah.
I do find that those immersion experiences, you have to be sitting in an upright position, straight up, and you have to be kind of your eye line has to be at a certain spot in order to really enjoy it correctly. But other than that,
the Apple TV theater as well. You need to be kind of sitting up. So I'll do the moon often because it's like, I'm laying down in a way that it's inconvenient.
Have you noticed that, like, when you watch TV on the moon, that the picture is reflected in the rocks?
Yeah.
In the ground?
Yeah. No, that's such a nice
awesome.
touch.
Yeah, it's a great touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching Daredevil Born Again there, and the red from the intro credits is like reflecting on the lunar surface, and it was all red. It was like, whoa, that's nice. Really nice touch. That was great.
Yeah. No, it's my favorite place to watch anything. If I'm just doing a solo watch. They got to
do more with that. They've really got to do more with that.
And I'm surprised I wonder when 3D content in Apple TV Plus will start coming out. I wonder if they'll do that because they can do conversions, and I don't know if they'll end up doing that. Like Monarch would be a good example for that.
Yeah.
Like For All Mankind, let's have that in 3D, please. The next.
Yeah, that would be great. Even the new Ted Lasso would be kind of cool.
It would
3D.
Be. Yeah.
Being in the locker room and stuff, and that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as getting work done in it, the Mac would be the thing for you personally with your kind of work, or designing. Like, could you see a custom built app that would help you design within this platform, or what kind of apps do you actually use these days for your design work?
Photoshop, Illustrator, Figma, the standard stuff for our pixel pushing and vector art and layout and all of that. I don't know. I mean, it's such a change of headspace of how that would work. I don't know. I'm sure if a tool came along that did it the way that would make it easier and or quicker or something, it would be totally worth trying. I can totally see why 3D developers or industrial designers and these kinds of careers love the vision. There's ways to get at what you're working at that you can't do in normal space easily, and so for those types of niche kind of content generation, it's fantastic for that. If I was a game developer, for instance, I would be loving it. I'm sure.
Yeah, just being able to see the assets and manipulate them, and I forget.
Yeah.
What's that one where you're breaking down like a car and all that? I forget. It was at the.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it, but
I forget. It was at the initial keynote, and it still seems to be thriving.
The ones that let you take an object and you can just scan it with the is it the LiDAR, or I can't.
There are those as well, yeah. For the 3D scans, yeah.
Yeah, you can just look at it and it understands it and stuff. That's very cool.
Yeah. The audio is another thing that just impresses me with the platform. There's no mute. They don't want you to mute because like they're very proud, I think, of just the soundscape that you're in with the environments and just every little bit of it. Yeah.
It sounds like it's playing in your head. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to describe.
Yeah.
And you don't have AirPods in, you don't have ear coverings over your ears, and yet you can hear it fine, and it feels like it's all around you. It's a nice engineering accomplishment.
Yeah, and you can tell like, oh, that's coming from that window, or
yeah. Yep, I agree with that.
Have you done much with personas and FaceTime calls in it?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I set it up initially when I first got it, and then it was just weird, and I eventually reset the device, and when I reset the device, I didn't bother with it. So if I put it on now, I wouldn't have a persona, and it would be, it wouldn't be set up correctly and stuff. But have you? Have you?
I do it occasionally. I am impressed with the personas. They're much better than they were at launch day.
Okay.
But I don't often do persona calls. I know a few people that have them and could do them with it, but I just, haven't made it a habit yet.
Do you find one of the problems I have is that I find that it's easy or too easy to accidentally trigger things you don't expect to trigger? Do you find that?
Yeah, occasionally, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and then occasionally I'll have to reset the eye tracking because it just isn't.
Yeah.
It's not seeing what I'm looking at, and that can be a bit annoying.
Yeah, like I've gone in the Messages app a couple times, and I accidentally started a FaceTime call when I didn't mean to do that. It's like I just wanted to reply to a message, and then all of a sudden it's like dialing the person. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it is because of the finger tracking and stuff. Like I tend to fidget sometimes with my hands.
Sure. Yeah.
When I'm just sitting there, I always, my hands are always moving, and I'm not just like I love in the tutorial movies and stuff. It's just this calm woman who's just sitting there, and her hand is on her leg, and she just barely moves her finger. She pinches, and that's it. me, I'm like, I'm doing this, and I've got my hands moving and everything. So I think the device gets confused sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's trying to track both hands, and it sees me doing something, and it thinks I'm pinching when I'm not. So I think it's part of it is user error on my part. But
yeah, I don't have that issue with the fidgeting around. Something I'm not sure if you've discovered is, so you can resize windows right at the corner, but you can also just, with two hands, zoom in a window, and it's like, it's not going to be as high resolution of it, what you're looking at, but it's like bigger. It's kind of an interesting thing they allow you to do.
I did that in the Photos app. I've zoomed in on photos that way with two hands.
But yeah, you can do that with just like pull up like tapestry. You can, outside of making the window bigger, you can actually zoom in on the window itself.
Okay, I'll have to try that.
It's an interesting thing. Sometimes it's useful. Sometimes it's like not great. But yeah,
it took me forever to figure out how to take a screenshot in the thing.
Yeah.
And of course, it won't record any proprietary content if you're watching a movie or anything online. It always ends up black, So
that is the most annoying thing about the current age of.
Yeah.
Like why are the copyright holders worried about us taking screenshots, which will probably promote the show or
that's the thing. It's like, do you want me to show off a vision and what I'm looking at and experiencing?
So we're not,
then let me show it.
People are already circumventing that for full out screen recordings with the audio, but a screen shot? Come on, guys. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Same thing on iOS. But it's worse on Vision because it's this big black.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Screenshots are so hard to get right in Vision Pro too. It's like, let me look at the right angle of my head and
and that brings up something else too, because it's like, if you can, when you record, you can start a screen recording while you're using the Vision, and of course you're looking around and you're looking at different windows if you're in the virtual environments, all of this. And then when you play back that video, it's odd because it does not convey at all like what you are seeing. It is it's impossible to do that because it's 2D first of all, but it's like windows seem to move, like your view is moving around, so it feels like it's jittery and it's not stable and all of this, but it's really not that way. When you're looking in the device, everything is solid and not moving. It's your view that's moving. But when you do a screen recording of what you're seeing, the whole tracking is moving with it, and it makes it feel and seem like it's janky. And it is not that way. It's impossible to convey to people who see this what it's like. And they have to really put it on and try it.
Yeah, it's a hard problem. Like the virtual reality gaming is the same problem. Like you can explain how it's like a wholly different thing from other video games where you're actually transported into that world, but until they try it, they won't get it. It can be it's definitely an aha moment of trying it. It's like, oh wow, this.
Yeah, I can't reiterate that enough. It's like my perspective on the whole thing changed once I put it on and tried it. It once you do that, you get it. You really do get it. It's cool. I brought it over to a friend of mine. She's never tried something like this before.
Yeah,
and she walked through the whole setup thing. I walked her through the dinosaur experience, the sitting on the beach thing. The whole way, she's just like, wow. She couldn't believe it.
No,
it's totally. Our jaws dropped open all the time. It's just like, whoa, what is that? This is so cool. And it is.
It is. It's great.
Yeah.
And just browsing the web in my living room with like it floating. I love that. I don't know. It's simple, but it's great.
There's a lot to be said for it, for sure. It feels like the future. It really does. It feels like science fiction to me.
Yeah. And when you attach keyboard, mouse, or trackpad to it, it just makes it like so much easier to just get around the system and get work done. But I'd say for casual mode of just the eye tracking, it's surprisingly good for that.
You never use the virtual keyboard, right?
Rarely. I mean, it is. You could tell if I'm like using Ivory from the Vision Pro because I'll just dictate and it'll be what it is. Yeah, I'll mostly use dictation, some keyboards, virtual keyboard stuff. But yeah, for work sessions, I'm always hooked up to it.
Yeah, the virtual keyboard is just not fully there.
It's hard.
It's very hard.
I don't know how they get that right. Like, I don't know if there's a better solution. Like, yeah. You get a neural implant, and they can tell you.
Yeah,
right. That's
thankfully dictation is pretty solid, I have to say. So.
Yeah, it's gotten better. It's the biggest annoyance lately with dictation I've had it across Apple platforms is the Switch 2, which I'm texting frequently about. It doesn't do the number 2. It's always TO. It's like, come on, Apple, you got to learn. We're all talking about the sequel to the Switch right now. But yeah, overall dictation, so much better than it was back when I got like drag and dictate for the Mac back in the mid 2000s. It's come a long way. How
much memory do you have for yours?
I got the 1 terabyte model.
Okay.
Because once you're at $3,500, like what's another for?
Right.
And I'm basically at capacity with storage because of all the Blu-rays I've offloaded to it, stuff like that. And I'm convinced the photo library they just take up whatever remaining room you have on any device. Like it just fills it up. And
yeah,
my messages, like iMessage is like 100 gigabytes these days for me. It's like I've got this Mac. It's got 256 gigabytes, and 90 gigabytes is freaking iMessage. I have no way of slimming that down. Like,
yeah,
it's infuriating. It's like, do I just turn iMessage off on this Mac because I can't store it? Like,
yeah. I just had to update our iCloud library storage on my side, and I was just like, well, I could go through my photos and call out videos and photos, or I can just pay an extra $2 a month and get another 50 gigabytes or 100 gigabytes or however much it was. And I was
we're
like,
using...
Okay, fine.
We're at 4.4 terabytes out of 6 right now.
Yeah.
This is not sustainable. This needs to...
Yeah,
because the other problem is your backups. Like my Vision Pro backup, 641 gigabytes. Like, can Apple please not charge me for backing up these devices in some way? Like,
yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I've got just my, and then I have my 2 iPads. Each are around 500 gigabytes for those backups. Like it's like 1.5 terabytes in just like stupid backups of devices. Which I should probably offload. I should probably do the iPad backups through the Mac. The Vision Pro, you have to do it in iCloud if you want to back up because there's no way to cable that up to a Mac.
No, you can't connect it.
Yeah. Yep. That's the other thing I hope they figure out. I want a battery pack where the USB-C port on that thing can hook up to a Thunderbolt hub. So I have I/O. Like, I'd love if they could figure that out in some way.
I could see that being something that's coming in the next rev.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool. I know they have the head strap for developers, but I'd love if they could figure out the battery pack and making that more full featured as a way to interface with it.
Yeah.
Anything else we haven't covered yet that you'd like to touch on?
I don't wear the glasses. Thankfully, I didn't need the glasses inserts when I got it. And I do need glasses when I see far away, but not for close up stuff. So for that, I was thankful. But,
which is interesting because the Vision Pro, like, I don't need glasses for close up. I do for far away, but for Vision Pro, it's mimicking far away for me. But it's not. I guess. Do you know what diopter your far away lenses are?
No, I don't.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you're pretty weak as far as need there because I definitely need them for clear stuff in the Vision Pro, even though it's the screens are close to your eyes, but it's kind of mimicking far away stuff. It's kind of a weird situation with that.
I do find that like sometimes when I'm watching movies in the dark, the the bright parts of the movie will get they'll react with the interior of the lens of the device or something, and you'll catch speculars off the interior of there.
That can happen, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that distracts from the immersion of it. It almost feels like the lenses are cloudy or something. And I always go in with the cloth that they give you, that super expensive polishing cloth, and try to clean them. But it's not that. It's that the light elements from the UI of the movie or whatever are interacting with the glass and everything on the interior of the device, and they're creating reflections inside the eye housing, and that is a little weird. I found it. There's no way really to avoid that.
No,
and so
the one thing I've noticed the cleaning cloth I'm using it most for is actually the exterior, because if you get oils on the cameras, it can cause your view to be kind of blurry.
Cloudy.
Yeah, cloudy, yeah.
Blurry.
So cleaning the exterior is actually not just a cosmetic thing, but actually helps you.
It does help. Yeah. I mean, you got to have the cloth with you, or nearby.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impossible to pick up the thing or take the thing off without getting your hands on it and getting your oils on the screens and all of that stuff. There's no way to grab it, really. That you it's like, how can I do this without getting my fingers all over the housing and stuff? It's it's very hard.
Yeah. No, the one thing I do hope that gets improved is the field of view in future versions, like the PSVR 2. I have less of the vignette around the edges. So hopefully they can figure that out. As I guess screen technology gets better, they can have bigger ones in there or whatnot.
It's an impressive piece of engineered technology. It really is. Every part about it is. You can see why Apple takes their care that they do of what they create, and the amount of testing that's gone into it, and all of these things. It's a very finely engineered device. They considered a lot of things. I think they overestimated people's ability to have this heavy thing on their head for very long, and I'm sure they know that, and that's one of the reasons why we're hearing these rumors of the titanium version coming and everything. I'm really curious to see if they ditch the external screens and things like that in the next one.
Right.
If it helps.
Yeah.
Cost-wise and weight-wise.
Right. Yeah, it'll be... Yeah, curious to see what the next one looks like, and if it'll be the Vision Air as the next one, and the Vision Pro will just continue on with this current model for a while, or because it'll be I don't see myself upgrading to the next version because it's such a big investment. So it's like get the most out of this until I do the next upgrade.
Unless they give you back the majority of the cost of the device in a trade-in, which would be nice.
That would be nice. I'm not sure if they would though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, it's like, first generation Apple product. Do I want to trade it in, or just like, do I want that for just to have?
For posterity's sake.
Exactly. Did Apple send you the Apple travel case or anything with it, or what would they give you with your?
No, they just give us the standard stuff, and they give you the standard head strap and the cover and the cloth, and that's it basically. I mean, they did send a couple extra of the light seals.
Oh yeah.
One large, one small, in case you needed that or something.
So you're currently using the dual strap. That's your current. Yeah. And, you also got the Belkin one to use with the Solar Nip band.
I tried it, but I bought it at the store and I returned it. I didn't like it as much.
Okay.
So
the dual strap one, I was always getting the Velcro stuck in my hair. Not an issue for you right now.
No. And I think that could be one of the reasons why I didn't like the other one too, because it wouldn't grip the back of my head as well.
Oh, yeah.
It kept slipping in the back of my head with my crew cut and everything.
Yeah.
So it's I could totally see a lot of people online said, "Get the Belkin strap, get the Belkin strap."
No, I love it.
And so I did, and it's like I just didn't sit right on my head as much. So
yeah, no, I can see that. Yeah, I think that's about it. Anything else?
All I can say is if you're listening out there and you haven't like gone and done a demo of it at an Apple store, make an appointment and go in and try it. If nothing else, it's a fun way to spend a little bit of time to see what everything is and what people are talking about, and possibly the future of interactive UI design and all of that. It's worth your time, I think, to do that. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go and buy one, of course.
Right.
And
I really hope
it's worth it.
They can miniaturize the tech into glasses for not the immersion, but just like floating windows. I think that's would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of what makes it cool though, it depends on that immersion, and you got to have it.
It really does. Yeah. But yeah, just browsing the web with the windows in front, that's a nice thing. And yeah, but the immersion, like that's where it's at, like as far as a lot of the experiences you have there.
Now I'm gonna have to go watch something tonight with it.
Have you taken the time to watch the Avatar movies in the Vision Pro?
No, I have not. Is it cool?
They're great. It's the best way to watch them. They're the high frame rate and the 3D.
Oh, really?
Phenomenal.
Wow.
They're great. Yeah. So I'm excited for the new one coming out in December.
I started watching Infinity War in 3D on it, and that was cool.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
They're great. So Avatar movies, highly recommended in the Vision Pro.
I'll have to try that. I haven't seen the new Avatar anyway, so that's what I'll do.
Perfect place for it. Yeah. Well, Ged, where can people follow you online?
On Mastodon is where my social home is there. I'm at mastodon.social, and I'm at Gedeon at Iconfactory.com. Is that right? I don't even know what my Mastodon.
Let's see. I'm pulling it up now.
I can't.
Gedeon M at Mastodon.social.
Yeah. Yep. And of course my blog, which is gedblog, gedblog.com. I gotta post more there. I really do.
An old-fashioned blog. I like it.
Yeah. Really.
But yeah, your last post was back in June of 2024, so it's been a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to blog more.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for your time. This was a great chatting.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me. It's a fascinating thing, and it's changed my perspective on development and interaction a lot. So it's good to talk about it. I'm curious to see what other people like about it and what they don't like about it too. So it's good to hear your thoughts about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very curious what Apple's outreach is for developers and how widespread them getting these units into developers' hands are. It's and interesting for sure.
Yeah. Thanks again.
Well, that's my discussion with Ged. I hope you enjoyed it. My thanks to Ged for his time recording. My thanks to you for your time and attention tuning in. As a reminder, you can support this podcast over visionpros.fm/Patreon. My great thanks to everyone that supports the show. With that, I'll talk with everyone again real soon.